John Flores here on a beautiful spring day, 50 degrees, raining, and I've been riding that thing. Whenever I go on ADV, it always rains. So I thought in order to give this bike a fair shake, a real world shake, I would ride this thing in the rain. This, as you may or may not know, is a 150cc 4-stroke scooter from Honda, based on their evergreen and popular PCX 150. The ADV150 has some key changes to make it a little bit more ADV worthy. That includes increased suspension front and rear, chunkier tires, and other little features like an adjustable windscreen. I don't know if the PCX has one or not. When I first heard of this bike, I thought to myself, what the heck is an ADV scooter? Have we jumped the ADV shark with an ADV 150cc scooter? This is probably the smallest two-wheeled vehicle to bear the ADV, the popular ADV nomenclature. Honda has a 250 CRF L Rally, which is also an adventure touring machine that they've recently upgraded to 300cc for 2022. So this is by far the smallest ADV vehicle. Is it really? What would you do here with the ADV? So we're on some roads here, got to do some standing. I gotta tell you, standing isn't really great. The handlebars are kind of low. Makes it a little difficult to stand, and I don't know if there's really much of a benefit. Standing on floorboards is kind of cool, I will say that. I took it around town the other day, and like any small scooter, it's great for around town work. Light and agile and nimble. Motor is pretty good for those low speeds. Gets off the line with a pleasant urgency. So as far as the scooter is concerned, this is a good city scooter. But will it do ADV? I don't know. See, so here we are on some dirt roads with some washboard surfaces. I gotta tell you, for the smaller stuff, this bike is eating it up quite nice. There's a suppleness to the front and the rear. I don't feel the need to stand up to provide some relief or cushioning for my body. It does pretty good. I think there is a limit to its capabilities, though. The bigger bumps and the bigger potholes, I feel as if the back end is giving up the ghost first. The front end remains quite supple over these larger hits, whereas the back end starts to kick back a little bit more. But I will say this, there's this small light bike gives me a lot of confidence on these dirt roads, these dirt farm roads. I have no qualms about going at a decent clip. Not too fast. It's raining and I could barely see through this windscreen. I have no qualms about going at a decent clip along some of these farm roads. If you are looking for a scooter to get you to town and you live in a rural area where there's farm roads and stuff like this may actually be the ticket. It's good for stuff like this. It's handling it fine. But the thing is so light and nimble, I feel like I could change my line without much thought, and it just goes, which is quite cool. Center of gravity is low too, because it's a scooter. You got nothing down here. Most of the weight is down by the axles. The motor, of course, is mounted on the rear swing arm, so it is sprung weight. That might have something to do with its struggles. Whereas if I was on a regular scooter on these roads, I might be a little bit more cautious. But on this little ADV150, I feel like a little more confident in sending it. So what else can I tell you about this bike? It's got a really nice LCD display. I just had water come into my shorts, so that ain't good. It's a cold 50-degree water. Boom, 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 bumps, deep water, no problem. This is only 150cc, so if you've got some long stretches to cover, long highway stretches and whatnot, this is not the bike for that. On the road, I think it's either governed or limited to about 67 miles per hour. I tried going downhill and that was the best I could do. But like, I'm going 40 here. This thing's handling it again. The rear is giving up the ghost a little bit earlier than the front, running out of suspension travel. I feel confident. That's the thing. Do I feel more confident than I would on a ADV motorcycle like a KLR 650 or the Honda CRF 250L? I don't know. I know I'm lower to the ground. I know I don't have to worry about shifting because this is an automatic. I know the center of gravity's lower. And this just feels more playful, more toy-like. So this thing will cruise on a 2-lane country road all day at 40, 50 miles an hour. It'll do that no problem. Let's see if we can go into the water a little bit. I would not recommend taking this on the highway. If you're going 50 miles an hour and you have to slow down because a car is turning in front of you, then you have to accelerate again. It takes a while to get back up to 50. It's not a fast bike. If you're going 50 miles an hour, if you're going 45 miles an hour or 40 miles an hour and there's a little old lady from Pasadena in front of you and going 35 miles an hour to 45, you're going to have a hard time passing, to be honest with you, because this bike just doesn't have that. But if most of your riding is on country roads at lower speeds, this could be an interesting proposition. I forget what the price is, but it's relatively cheap. Whoa, that was a big one. Oh, that was a big one too. Whoa. I don't think I'd ride this to Patagonia. Definitely not to Patagonia. This thing will struggle on hills, for one. Especially accelerating up a hill. It's really not good at that at all. But let's say I lived in Ushuaia and wanted to just get around town, and that included going to places just that are unpaved and just a couple miles away. I would totally use a bike like this. Oh, okay, now I'm feeling my kidneys. All right, now things are feeling a little rougher, as if the suspension needs some time to cool off, I think. Oh, hey there. I've been on this thing. Can you see it? This is the Honda ADV150, 150cc 4-stroke scooter. Touring some dirt roads and country roads here in New Jersey to see whether or not it actually has some ADV chops. Spoiler alert, I think it does. I don't know, I hate to say it, but I think it does.